Okay, well, what up guys? Now that I am done putting the Syncro fuel panel into a two-wheel drive van, I realized that I didn't give very many detailed instructions on how to do the work. If you're trying to put a Syncro fuel filler panel into a two-wheel drive, here's a good way to do it. This is what I did. Feel free to share any tips, tricks, and ideas, things you think I could have done better. I'm pretty happy with it based on, just looking at the body lines, it is nice. And based off what I've seen other people do online, this is going to look a lot more professional down the road. Once I do the body work, you should not be able to tell that that's in there. So I'm just providing here in this video a quick synopsis of how I did it, and let me know what you think.
You're a solid foot and a half off the ground, at least. Oh yeah. Oh man, this guy.
Alright, I have not seen a good YouTube video on the two-wheel drive to Syncro fuel door conversion, so here we go. Just make our own. There's the two-wheel drive door that I need to block off. Here's the Syncro parts that I cut out of Otis and need to transfer in. So I had a template. You can see how the fuel filler goes through this metal panel. Let's show you the template that I've made. So there's the template, and I drilled 2 pilot holes, and then I'm going to use a hole saw that is 2-inch hole saw, and I'm going to cut, here, and then figure out the center when I'm done. I also had a template for making that hole up there. It's already drilled. And then when I'm done, I'm going to cut that panel down a little bit, cut a hole right here, and weld in the patch panel. A lot of people I see just cut a hole right here in the middle of this panel and just put the plastic fuel filler in with none of this extra supporting. And it looks awful because it's not recessed. So I'm going to put this panel in so everything looks recessed and looks OEM when it's done. Okay, drilled 2 holes at 2 inches, and then a little tiny pilot hole here and a little tiny pilot hole there. That way, when I'm going to use the angle grinder from the outside of the van, that way it'll tell me what the high point is, so I can high point to here, high point here, cut, do a little grinding, cleaning, if that makes any sense, and hopefully that should be opened up soon. Well, let's see. I was ever so slightly off on the top cut there, but oh well. Come on. Come on. Okay, I gotta either remake the top cut there or do it with the grinder or whatever. I gotta clean that hole up, and that's the easy part. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It's all cleaned up. I won't know if I need to make any further modifications until I cut the hole in the side of the van to verify fit or not. So now it's cutting the outside. Oh boy. And then just a quick glance here to show you what it looks like from the wheel well side, all modified and cut. Now I cut the hole right here. Okay, there's the original panel from Otis, and I made this template here of where I'm going to make the cut. So obviously this panel still needs to be cut down to size afterwards, And it's interesting to note that Otis didn't come factory with side markers. So I made the template and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna cut right through where the side marker mounts. And then I thought about it. The reason why I'm making the weld in the middle of this channel is that it's typical people put stickers like a reflective or a trim sticker there, which will help cover the body work. And putting the weld in the middle of the marker light will help hide the body work. So then really, I'll just have this long line and a little bit of the corner that I really need to be concerned about with my welds and quality. That'll be nice. And I moved it pretty far down this panel because when you get to the back side, there's not much room with the elbow, and I want it to be somewhere down in here is where I'm at once with that piece. So, oh boy, time to make the cut. Well, there's no turning back now. Holy moly. See? Just like that. Boom, done. Ha. Alright, I had to make a little modification to that hole so that it'll fit. It looks like it needs to be opened up wider at these 2 points for the slip to fit. And then on this new piece that I am inserting here, you see the factory lip. Well, the factory lip is still here. So I need to go through and clean this whole line up, increase the diameter of that hole down there, and we should be getting pretty close. I constantly see questions online. People, how do I get this factory undercoating and stuff's nasty and thick? It's really simple. Light it on fire. Scrape it off. And obviously, I'm filming and doing that left-handed, but quick and painless. Well, now I found the first tricky part. I'd like to leave this lip here so that I can just put it right up against the body. I found out, you can see from this perspective, this is the body, this is the lip. So the body actually, so the lip from the outside panel that I'm trying to install is underneath the body panel. And it goes all the way back to here, so it's halfway covered by this little piece. That's gonna be fun to figure out. First I'll just grind this outside edge flush, see if perhaps I can just put it in there and bend it. If not, I'm gonna be drilling lots of spot welds, prying this lip back, sliding it in, putting it all back down. We'll see what happens. Well, shoot. Would you just look at it? Now it becomes a game of slight grinding and adjusting to get everything to fit perfectly. And then it's welding time. Whoa, snap. So the next step, I need to get a product called 3M Panel Bond. It's a multi-part compound that body shops use for welding panels in. And I'm going to put the compound down this lip and then weld the outside 3 lips. Put the compound in between the factory body and this lip, since I can't get any weld behind there, but I can get weld around the edges. I have a little bit of gap all the way around so that I can fill in with the welder. And then, holy moly, that wasn't as hard as I thought at all. That's gonna look sweet. I did to compromise, this outer layer here had a piece that stuck all the way out. I cut it off. I ground this layer down at a 45 all the way, and I'm just gonna stick them together. Stick this one right over the top of that one. Use 3M panel bond adhesive on this line all the way down and weld the other 3 corners. That should be adequate and well enough hidden. I ended up changing my plan a little bit, and now I'm going to panel bond the entire thing, no welding required. So what I did was take some of the excess metal from the fuel door that I cut out of the old van, and I made strips that go in the back. I drilled holes, I temporarily riveted everything together, test fit it all. Now I'm going to take it back apart, cover everything with panel bond, put all the rivets in, and leave it for a couple days. And the panel bond will stick out through all these gaps, so there'll be very little body work. Welding this gap would be so frustrating. It would just create a giant mess. So this panel bond is going to be so much nicer, so much easier. And it was more work in the beginning. It'll be less work in the end when it comes to body working time. I mean, check out that body line right there. That's awesome. Honestly, that worked so much better than I ever expected. Holy moly. So the next step after this is let it cure and then body work. I'm not going to show you guys how to do body work because I'm not very good at it anyways. But look at this. Wow. Look at that body line. Look at that. No welding, no fuss, no muss. Just, oh, it's beautiful. That is amazing. So, over here, the mixing straw was completely glued shut, so I did it by hand with the bowl and that. 3M panel bond. You're looking at probably $100 for the tube and the dispenser gun. That is amazing. It took me a lot of work beforehand, but I'm going to save a lot of time with body work. I mean, trying to fill that small gap with a welder and small panels and rust and who knows what. I mean, there's no rust there, but small, thin gauge metal, it's not my forte. It would have been a mess. This looks fantastic. So I'm going to leave it all weekend. I got the 60-minute cure stuff, so it should be good soon. However, I'm going to leave it all weekend, and then I'll take the rivet heads out and see what happens next. That is, I'm so happy with that. That is a great way to put the Syncro filler panel in. And then we'll show you down here. Everything looking great. I am so happy with that. I briefly took a sanding disc and did this little spot just to show you how well the bodywork is going to turn out when I'm done. Look at that. I mean, dang, would you just look at it? Oh shit. God, I'm so proud of myself on that one. That looks awesome.